Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. Nigerians are earnestly looking forward to the Supreme Court as all appeal heads now to Supreme Court. Of course, Nigerians have been wondering what's going on and why is Labour Party lawyers and Atiku Abubakar's lawyer have not yet filed their appeal. Well, the truth be told, they're still within the time frame. They're trying to marshal a strong, foolproof petition that would and they still have to Wednesday. Okay, so they're still within the time frame. Remember, a lot of technicalities involved. So on or before Wednesday, they definitely would have submitted their petition. But meanwhile, many Nigerians have been saying, is it really worth it? Going to Supreme Court, don't you think we already have the verdict? Well, all the Nigerians have decided to tell Peter Obi to move on to Supreme Court, and they gave their strong reasons why it should be. Some pastors are solidly behind Peter Obi. Some clergymen are definitely behind Peter Obi, and most Nigerians have decided to become solidly behind Peter Obi as well. Now, also in another news, Peter Obi has said to also speak up on the issue of democracy in the world and in Nigeria. Then, a former senator of Kaduna have also decided to tell Nigerians exactly what is going on in the tribunal, where it looks like as the days go by, we may likely not be having opposition parties anymore. They won at oppositions won at the polls, but tribunal is sacking them and giving it to the ruling party. We're going to give you all the juicy details into one. Before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel. Click on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Now, a senior pastor of Trinity House Church, Pastor Igbo Dalo, has shared his thoughts on the verdict of Presidential Election Petition Tribunal PEPC. Now, according to Igbo Dalo, the judges avoided the substance of the case and focused on technicality. Now, the clergyman, however, stated that despite getting away with the act, things will be made right on another day. Now, Igbo Dalo insisted that it is within the rights of the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi and his counterpart in the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Atiku Abubakar, to appeal the PEPC verdict. Now, he noted that the petitioners ought to exhaust all their options, even if it turns out to be a waste of time and money. Now, according to him, when you go to court, there are rules of the court, and that's one of my challenges with jurisprudence and justice. It's not just what is right, but also the approach and the technicality. So the judges have given their judgment based on technicality, and I think they have largely avoided the substance of the case. It is convenient for them, and the law allows them. So they have done it and have gotten away with it, but it's okay. There's always another day. Now, even every process must be followed and exhausted according to the laws of the land. They may go on appeal and may find a court that is willing to listen to their case and the substance thereon, and they may not, but nobody will say that they didn't exercise their rights according to the laws of this country to the fullest. Now, at the very worst, they will waste some money, waste some time, but they will have reached a process and a nexus, and I will encourage them and anybody else seeking justice to seek such to the end. When they get to the Supreme Court, according to the laws of the land, there's no other court to go to. At that point, they know that they have exhausted all their options, and posterity will not ask them why they stopped midway and did not follow through to the end. There has been precedents before that cases that were lost at the lower court were overturned at the Supreme Court. So let them exhaust the full process. If they can afford it, both in money and in time, he added. Well, of course, a lot of Nigerians have been reacting to this, judging the fact also that the AGF actually is also an APC person. How true can they get justice? Well, let's find out what Peter Obi also is saying about democracy. Now, according to Peter Obi, he said, we must remind ourselves of the need to work together to build and deepen our nation's democracy. As witnessed in the country today, the mindless erosion of the very ideals and tenets on which Nigerian democracy was built, if not checked, will only push the nation deeper into lawlessness. Now, the current trend of endemic corruption, abuse of constitution, disrespect for the rule of law, and transactional politics, which cut across the executive, legislative, and judiciary arms of government, have continued to conflict with our nation's enforcement of democracy. Consequently, our dear nation has continued to swing dangerously away from the boundaries of true democracy. Gradually, we are losing one of the biggest intangible assets that makes a nation strong, which is respect for the rule of law. I call on all Nigerians to remain committed to building and reinforcing our nation's democracy. Once again, I restate my commitment to a new and truly democratic Nigeria. I am in this struggle solely for the betterment of our society. My vision of a new and truly democratic Nigeria is born out of deep conviction that Nigeria, if given good leadership as I offer to give, will be beneficial to every Nigerian. We must not give up on our nation because a new and truly democratic Nigeria is possible. And he went further to tell all the world, and Nigeria in particular, Happy International Democracy Day. Of course. Okay, very quickly, one of the former Senator Shehu Sani, also have watched the trend of the 2023 elections at the Tribunal as well, and this is what he's saying, and Nigerians are reacting, which is, he said, though the opposition are recording some legislative court victories, most of the judgments are going the way of the ruling party. I hope at the end of the day, there will still be some opposition legislators left, which means some of these legal tussles over the election tribunal for House of Assembly and all that. The thing is just going boost. Next thing, this person has been sacked, this person has been replaced, and the LP is really feeling the bite. Really, I think just one or two of LP members had something good. I think that of Delta State was a big win for them. And I think that there's about two or so thereabout, but all that has been a case of, taking, replacing, and it's getting worrisome because most Nigerians believe that what could keep the country or what could keep the ruling party at their toes is when the oppositions are much and also demanding for the dividends of democracy. Now, with so many Nigerians also reacting to the fact that Bola Ahmed Tinubu's economic strength is strictly on from the southwest, their CBN governor from the southwest, from the FIRS man from the southwest, and a whole lot of the economic strength. But most Nigerians are saying that's not the same thing that happened in time of Buhari, so why should anybody say? But what Nigerians are saying, whether southwest, southeast, north, central, let them be competent hands, let them be square pegs and square holes, and round pegs and round holes, but definitely not misfits. You could give it to Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the fact that there's some places too he got it very right, like David Umahi as the Minister of Works, he read architecture as an engineer. So yes, that's a perfect fit. Now the question now is, will he deliver? We saw David Umahi deliver in Ebonyi, and did some nice projects, and in a state that have little or no derivative of any kind, no oil and all that, but he was able to change the narrative of Ebonyi State. They had an international airport. Yes, there may not be much flight going in there because there are no much persons really coming and going to Ebonyi State, but then again, it's a big win, and if you could replicate that on a federal scale, it's a big win for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, bringing that person as a minister. There's still other good hands too in his administration, but the question now is, are you saying that there are no good hands in other parts of the country? They can still do the same thing that other ministers may be doing. Let's go wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's the take on all of this wrapped together? Let's interact. Have a nice